Hello, good morning, and welcome to this week's coffee vlog.
Turn right.
Oh, shush lady. Oh no, that's coming on as well. I hadn't realised I'd turned her on. Let's just get out of the range of everything so I can go and change that setting. Sound off, thank you. Yes, don't want to listen to you talking to me. Let's see out the windows. So, this week it's been a roaring roller coaster of week for me this week. Super busy at work. I've roasted a ridiculous amount. Oh, no. He says go this way, so we shall. Roasted loads of coffee. Square Chapel in the centre of Halifax decided that they were going to need to cover the week. I have a break off from work. To cover that period, they were going to have 50 kilos of roasted coffee over the last week and a half. So yeah, that's kept me very busy roasting coffee. And obviously I've also had plenty of orders from all over, really, to be honest. Lots of people generally, so I've had a lot of coffee to roast, been very busy with that, and yeah, it's just been a crazy run up to Christmas. Obviously we're now on Friday the 22nd of December, so just a few more days to go till Christmas. I am actually heading into work still. Just because it's nearly Christmas isn't a good excuse to have a day off. But we might finish a bit earlier because I don't think a great deal of work is going to come in today. I imagine a lot of places are shut already or doing half days, so not such a great need to stay the full day. I mean, there's plenty of work to do, to be honest. I could stay for as long as I liked, but what I think we'll perhaps do is just call it quits a little bit earlier. Now, on last week's blog, Bob Bell said to me, here it is. He didn't say, here it is, because that would have been a bit weird. Let's just sneak up on here. Have to go a little bit past because of the cars, I think. It's T&P Print, Mr Nellis. You never told me it was opposite the Texaco petrol. I tell you what, why don't we face it? That would be best, wouldn't it? Then I'm not in the way of people. That's a good idea. We'll go on the hill. Yeah. So, sorry, Bob was saying last week to me that I looked a tiny bit tired on last week's vlog, and maybe I'd been just doing a little bit too much, staying up late steemiting. So there we go. It's a gorgeous T&P Print sign for you, Mr Nellis. A festive treat indeed. Let's just get out of the way of everyone else. I don't want someone coming up tapping on the window saying, "Can I get past, please?" Let's test the handbrake. Nice and firm. That's good, isn't it? So yes, Bob said I looked a bit tired. So last night I thought I'm going to make sure I'll have an early night so I look fresh and lively for the vlog tomorrow morning. And I did that and woke up at 2:30 and get back to sleep again. Just, you know, you just wake up and then your mind's just going and yeah, that was it. Couldn't get back to sleep, so I mean, I must have slept, because you know, you do that sort of thing where you think you just laid awake for hours and hours, but then you kind of must doze off and it becomes like almost a dream itself. Is it a dream, or are you awake, or are you dreaming? What's going on? Who knows? But yeah, so I do feel a little bit even more tired than I was last week. I'd see a bit but yeah, hey, what can you do? I tried, Bob. I tried to have a good early night and it went all to pot. What can I say? So Mr Nellis's Words of Wisdom is being done outside his T&P Print. So Mr Nellis knows someone who works here or owns T&P Print, something like that. I've got a dry mouth. Oh. Refreshing bit of juice. So what I thought would be nice this morning, I'm a little bit earlier for work, so let's do Mr Nellis's Words of Wisdom in front of T&P Print for him. Let's have a look. So, for Mr Richard Nellis, things to talk about on your vlog. Richard went on a Pennine Magpie. Oh no, Pennine Magpie had a performance of Jack and the Beanstalk. Yeah, very festive. On Tuesday morning. Richard also sang Merry Christmas Everybody by Slade on Tuesday evening. That would be the Feathers pub, I believe, maybe. The death of Heather North, who was the first voice actress of Daphne Blake. Oh right, okay, from Scooby-Doo. Oh, that's sad. Oh. Oh, and he's going to see Star Wars The Last Jedi, so Star Wars 8. I presume when he says Wednesday evening, I think that must be next Wednesday, so between Christmas and New Year. He's also going to the Hare and Hounds pub. He's going to the Hare and Hounds pub for T&P Print's Christmas party on Friday afternoon. Oh, the Hare and Hounds is to the right here. We'll go past it. Oh, right. Well, they don't go very far for the Christmas party, do they? It's across the road. The Pennine Tea and Coffee Christmas party will be held at the petrol station across Shibden Park. We're going to get a couple of sandwiches out of the fridge there. They'll be having a party because I won't be going for a week with parcels. Actually, to be fair, I can tell you now, I will be going next week with parcels because last year I had the same thing. The orders just kept rolling in, of course, and the thing is with eBay and Amazon, there's no easy way to say we're shut, so your order's going to take ages, and then what happens if you don't ship it and it doesn't arrive in time? Then you get in all sorts of trouble with eBay and Amazon for not sending stuff out. So in the end I did sort of keep nipping in and keeping up with it, and I have a feeling that's going to happen again. Right, let's get on with this. Also, he's going to watch Robocop 3 on Christmas Day. A really festive film, Richard, full of joy and wonders. Oh dear. He's also going to watch The Borrowers on Channel 4 on Christmas Eve. Oh, that's a good film though. He's also watched Die Hard and Hostage this Christmas. Well, one of the Die Hards was a Christmassy one, wasn't it? I can't remember. I'm sure it was anyway. So that is Mr Nellis's festive Words of Wisdom. Well done, Richard, opposite your T&P Print. Right, let's head on to work and do some more interesting things. So, no one come in. And we're off that steep hill. Not a hill to go on when it's icy, this one. So, I'm not sure if the dash cam will pick up the Hare and Hounds, but it is just to the right here. Just wait for some traffic to go. Literally just as we're heading along, it's on the right there. There's the sign up there, the Hare and Hounds pub. So, Mr Nellis, enjoy your Christmas party lunch in the Hare and Hounds this afternoon. That should be very good.
Warning, K-band, radar, check speed.
Sneak across yet or not, or maybe? Alright, he's gone. Oh, yeah, should be alright. A bit of a tricky bit to get at this one. And yeah, we're going. I don't. What are you wiping? There's nothing to wipe.
Speed trap limit 30 miles per hour.
Okay. Very good, many of those along here. So, yes, what else has been going? Well, it's been like I say, it's just been all happening for me. So much going on at work just to get everything cleared really for Christmas. Been really busy. We shifted a lot of stock I did manage probably to do about the best I have in a few years of pre-ordering enough
Warning,
in.
speed trap limit,
So
30 miles per hour.
we've not run out of stock, and we've got a good starting stock for coming back to. So I didn't over order, I didn't under order. It's just about perfect. We run out of one of the hot chocolate powders, but it was only like a day behind coming back in again, so that wasn't too bad.
Warning,
But yeah, other than that, it's just been super busy. Loads of coffee going out, loads of green coffee as well as roasted coffee. Had someone on Monday come to look at the roaster while I was roasting as well. But also on Tuesday, while I was doing all this massive amount of roasting for the Square Chapel, and I roast their coffee quite dark, so when it gets that sort of dark level, it gives off more oils that go in the air with the hot air, and then they go out through your exhaust flue, as it were. And on Tuesday, the last couple of roasts, and it was the 7th roast was the last one, and really I should clear the chaff out of the collector. The chaff's like the parchment, so when the coffee roasts, it gives off this parchment as it gets to about first crack, which is like an outer layer, quite papery like, and there's a chaff collector at the side of the roaster. It's a big cyclone-y drum thing that collects all that chaff in it, so it doesn't go flying outside. And on the last roast, because I'd done so many already, I was getting problems when it got to first crack and it was giving off this chaff. My burner kept losing flame, which normally means there's a problem with airflow somewhere, and you need to give something a good clean out. And also, I'm gonna admit, while I was roasting, I was getting smoked out like a kipper. There's a heck of a lot. I mean, there generally can be a lot of smoke inside, because when you drop the roast to cool, a lot of the smoke flies up out the cooling tray. So, but yeah, I was having those issues with the flame cutting out. I thought there's something untoward somewhere. And then the next day, oh, do you know, flying communities fly. Oh, they made a right turn thing on that. I did not noticed that. It's new. They made an actual right turn, which is good actually, because they're always queued up there forever because no one would let them across. So that's a good new feature.
Warning,
yeah. So on the Wednesday, anyway, I first roast I put in, it was doing pretty much the same thing. It was starting to cut out at first crack at the burner. And I was like, right, I've cleaned all the chaff collector and everything out. There's no chaff in there at all. So that wasn't it. So what's causing the problem? So I went up after that roast had finished to the roof where my obviously ducting comes out to outside, and then there's a little sort of, it's like a Chinaman hat on it. So you've got like a cones hat, and then there's a grill underneath all the way around to stop things getting into your exhaust ducting, and obviously then the smoke comes out of there. And I took that off, and it was smothered. The actual holes in the grill were half the diameter they should be, because it had built up. The oils had obviously stuck on there, then the finest bits of chaff. So the chaff collector collects the biggest stuff, but obviously very tiny fine particles will still go up and out through the system, and they're like layered with the oils around that mesh up there, and obviously that's what was restricting my airflow. So I gave that a good clean. I could have run, well I did a couple of roasts with it just off to get on with it, and then I decided to wait until I'd given it a good clean to do any more, mainly because with it off, other than the rain could obviously fall into the ducting pipe and then drain down everywhere, but also it would make the smoke just go up in a giant column. So Halifax would have just had this plume heading straight up into the sky of blue coffee roasting smoke, whereas when I've got the sort of the hat on, it diffuses it down and around the roof line area, so it's not that noticeable. So I gave it a good clean, and the next day when I did the main bulk of the very dark roasts, it was incredibly better. I mean, there was no problem with the flame going out at all, but the other amazing thing was I had the least smoke I have ever had in the room, which suggests, obviously, I should have cleaned that a long time ago. Yeah, there was literally not a wisp of smoke in there, and it was just all the dark roasting I was doing that would normally fill it with smoke. So massive difference that was. But again, I think it's just the amount of volume I've been doing recently. I've been roasting a lot of coffee, so it all adds up, doesn't it? Sneak back to this one. So yeah, that's really pretty much what work's been like. On the whole, the watch and iPhone are treating me okay on the current iOS's, obviously betas. The watch it had another update. It's still randomly rebooting itself. I hope they fix that at some point, because it's quite bizarre when you go to look at your watch and it's just an Apple logo while it's rebooting. I mean, it's good branding, maybe that's just there to enforce the brand, because it's booting, it's on all the time, even when your wrist is down sideways or whatever else. So yeah, maybe that's just sort of some Apple cunning brand plan to display the logo randomly. But that's going alright. MacBook Air is going fine actually, since I did that restore, made that extra space on it, so I don't have to keep tethering it to an external drive to do my video editing and coding. Done quite a few videos, and of course, that talking about videos is going to bring me on to good old Steemit. I know I keep going on about Steemit now, and it's all Paul's fault. He kept telling me to go to Steemit. I was like, oh, I don't understand it. What would I do on there, and how would I do anything? I just couldn't get my head around it for so long, Paul, and you kept at me, and I went, and God, I love it now so much. I can't just thank you enough for dragging me over there. It's become a tiny bit of an obsession, I'm afraid. Yeah, it's been another really ridiculously bumper week this week, and the highest point of stupidity for me is my dad's badly put up Christmas tree by me and my two boys. I took a photo of and did in black and white on Sunday night, and that is now my highest rewarded post on Steemit. I think it topped out at $106 yesterday, 106 Steam back dollars yesterday, and of course Steam dollars at the moment, one Steam dollar's $12 US in value. That's 12. You're getting me $12 US to one Steam dollar. Now, okay, at the same point, when I say $106 on that particular post, and consistently throughout the last week, I've had $90 posts. It sounds all of a sudden like I'm making a ridiculously large amount. You don't get all that back when you get to the final payout of the post. So I think one that I got up to about 80 odd dollars from last week paid out last night, and I got $39 back from it, because what happens is, and it keeps getting smaller the higher you go really, what happens, there's two things. First of all, of course, there's a 50-50 split, so some of it's paid out to you in Steam power rather than Steam dollars, but the Steam power is like your investment in the platform in Steemit. So Steam power is good to have, and to hold lots of it, and obviously I got a big boost thanks to that full-time geek giving me that delegation of 5,000 Steam power, which has enabled me to have a much better upvote, which of course what I've tried to do is go out and reach out to new different people starting out Steemit, people who are posting good content but just not quite getting good rewards that they could do, and giving them a little upvote boost. Oh, you naughty car. I could have let that one out, and then I was going to let this lady across, but no, because he's coming, it's all a bit mishy-mash. Oh dear me. So yeah, so you don't get you know, what's showing on each post back again by any stretch of the imagination. Because the other thing that happens is, of course, the people who upvoted you get a chunk of your sort of payout reward as well. And that's the interesting thing I've noticed. A lot of the posts this week that I managed to get up to with the bid bots in the region of $60 have then just continued to grow on their own day by day, and still are. And it seems to me what's happening is, by getting it to a high value post level with the bid bots, they generate their own momentum and income, because people realise on Steemit, and are growing more and more to realise, that when you upvote a high value post, a post that's getting a high reward, you get a share of its overall reward back again. Now, it might be within Steam Power, or you might get some Steam dollars, some curation reward. So the more, you know, high value posts are sought out by people just to upvote, just because they know that they're going to get an earning back from themselves for that upvote that they give. And it seems to me that's what's happening, is I'm getting them to a level where they're more visible on Steemit. So maybe I'm making the hot or trending list, I don't know. But certainly people are finding it naturally themselves, and they're giving me more upvotes. So the bid bots have got them to $60, but a lot of them have raised another $30 on their own afterwards, just naturally. So I can only presume that's what's happening. And yeah, I mean, obviously it's great, but it's that sort of thing that you obviously need to get a post past a certain level to get it to that sort of self-growing stage. So it's kind of interesting as well. It's something that I'm gonna have to sort of start pushing out more, I think, to people, that this is what they need to work towards getting. I have, of course, been busy going around sort of upvoting, and really what I've been very busy with, each post now, I've got a really good collection of a nice bunch of guys who always come back and sort of comment and upvote my posts, and are always commenting, and it's nice to have a good core group now of people who are just always coming back and commenting, and I'm sort of doing my best, because really everyone who comes back, and maybe that's why they're coming back, but everyone who comes and gives me a comment, they always get an upvote, and obviously that can be quite, you know, it could be 0.20 cents, so 20 cents, not quite a full dollar, up to 30 cents per my upvote at the moment on the level it's at. So that's obviously quite a good boost on its own. You can earn quite well on Steemit just from commenting and getting upvotes for your comments and things. So that's going super well, and I'm sort of going out. I've been doing a little bit of a secret Santaing as well with the Guide Steemit Discord group, which again is just sort of a group on the Discord chat. It's like a forum thing, I suppose, really. But I'm going sort of through. They have a post promotion section where you can drop links to your posts, and sort of it puts it in front of everyone else on there to go and have a look and upvote, and then that'll do likewise back again. So I'm doing a bit of a secret Santa with them, and just heading out looking for the ones who consistently post really good quality content. Crikey, it's bumpy on here, isn't it? and throwing in a random small bids into the highest payout bid bots to give them you know, a little bit of boost. So it's a little bit of a Christmas treat for the guys I think are doing well. I can't, you know, my upvote is still not particularly that great, but I can throw like $1.50, say, at Build a Whale, who at the moment I believe it's on about $600 upvotes. So it's obviously it's a bid bot that gets a lot of upvotes, but if, you know, you get maybe on a 500, 600, if it's $600 upvote, even if you get to about 400. Normally I'd say 300. So normally I'd say half the bids, 50% bids of the total upvote is not a bad position to be in to put a bid in yourself. When you get to about $400, so you're over that, it's a bit, well, I'm not sure you're going to get your revenue back from it. So I've been putting that in, but I think one guy, I put 1.5 in on one of the bid bots, and it took his post from 0.58 cents to $8. That's not bad. That's not a bad bonus at all, I don't think. Someone else, it went from 1 to 7. So yeah, and like I say, I'm going to keep going around over the next few days and just seeking out people to give them a little bit of an extra boost. It's a festive sort of treat as well, so yeah, just a bit of fun really. Talking of fun, finally as well, one of the most hilarious bits on Steemit this week is I found this. I'd found actually the person on Steemit a few weeks back, I think through someone else, a post I was reading and whatever else, and she'd commented on it. So it's a lady called Tech Slut, which is quite an amusing name on itself, but she did just the best post, and I just loved it, and I actually tagged it in on one of my posts on coffee, actually, one of the coffee posts I did this week. Obviously I'll leave links to all my posts this week on Steemit, but yeah, she did it was really funny, because I mean it was obviously something that had niggled her, but she turned it into something really quite clever and amusing and witty, and I was just like, that's just so spot on. So yeah, the post she did was basically it was about what women really want sending pictures of on the internet is dick photos, and the dick is actually, it's a bit like a small deer. It's such a cute little deery thing. It's amazingly cute and whatever else. But obviously she's she's a lady who was on the internet a lot, and she's forever seems to be getting bombarded by gentlemen who decide to send her pictures of their manly bits for whatever reason, that they think that they're going to sort of gain her praise for sending pictures of their bits to her. So yeah, the whole premise of it was, don't send me pictures of your manly bits, send me dick pictures, which are far more better. So, and oh, just push your car over some humpy bits. Is that to jump start it and with dead battery something? So yeah, I was so impressed with that. So well done to her, and she is quite a funny, witty character as well. So I say that's amazing, another amazing thing on Steemit. There's some really quite very funny, very enamouring characters on there. There's a lot of people who got very high up ranking, but they're still quite sort of humble and modest about it and just get on with things. So yeah, it's all good. So that's the end of this. It's the pre-Christmas coffee. Oh, do you know, I completely forgot to do, I was supposed to do Mr Nellis's thing. I cut with me Christmas hat on. So yes, they are. Merry Christmas. Yeah, it doesn't quite work because I'm a bit high up. You know, I could have lowered my chair or something, but yes, they are festive hats. So have a good Christmas, everyone, and have a good break between Christmas and New Year. I will catch you in next week's coffee vlog. I'm going to take this off because it's making my head crickle now. And I will I'll catch you in next week's coffee vlog, which will be the sort of the year roundup vlog. So just covering really how my year's gone, I suppose, and different things. So that will be available next week at some point. Can't guarantee it'll be on a Friday because it's a bit of an odd week, but we'll see what happens really. So okay, I shall catch you in next week's coffee vlog. Merry Christmas.